Good evening, everyone. Today is May the 21st, 2018. I am Jim Hannon, coming to you from Terryville, Connecticut. And it's been quite some time since we've done a lunar video. I've had a number of issues. I think if some of you go back and look at my older videos, I talked about an issue with my back, and that has been the biggest problem. But also I had some technical problems with sound and things like that. But I'm up and running again, and I think this time, the problem I had was an audio problem. I run with a telescope outside my car, as I think I told you in past videos. And by the way, if you go in and check, since it's been so long, if you go in and check my videos, the page that comes up on YouTube right now, it doesn't show my old ones. I think you have to click the bar up above that says videos, and my whole list of videos then will pop up. Going all the way back, I think all the way to 2013. We're using a Maksutov Cassegrain 5-inch telescope, and the mount we're using is actually a Skyview. I forget exactly what they do call it now, but it's an Altazimuth mount. It's not the regular polar line mount that I used. We're using a 6.5 millimeter eyepiece on the telescope. The telescope's a 1500 millimeter F15 telescope. It's a great planetary and lunar telescope. Right now we are on the crater. Let me see. I know the bottom one with the central peak is Theophilus. The one up on top. Well, let me center these up just a bit. They're almost dead center. Those three large craters. Let's see. We can center those up. Yeah, they're pretty close to center right now. Let's see. This thing likes to drift a little bit after I get done playing with it. I gotta stop that. Okay. Now they're getting away from me. Get them back here. Okay, those three craters anyway, right there near center. They are the one with the big central peak in it is Theophilus. And why does not want to stop? This is irritating. Okay, let's get it back here and see if it'll hold right there. All right, it's doing okay there. And then the partially destroyed, well, not destroyed, but it's in the stuck in the wall of the other crater. I believe that's Cyrillus, and up above that is a large flat-floored crater, and that is called Katharina. I'm going to try autofocus. I seem to be having a little problem with my focus here. No, that's actually pretty darn good. Wow. Looking closer, I actually have a very small preview screen here. It makes it a little bit tough, but yeah, we're looking at those three large craters. Seeing is actually surprisingly good tonight. Let me just get you some information here off the. No, I don't want to do this. I have a map up here underneath the display, and we're in right off the shores of Mare Nectaris. The three crater chain is right on the shore that. It's that large flat circular area just to the right of those craters. I'm going to go back to the map a second because there's a really nice ridge, and I want to see what we're looking at. I think, let's see, that's above, let's see, I'm talking to myself here because I'm looking at Katharina, and I think right above that there's that snaky white line. And okay, on the map, that is actually a mountain ridge. And you know what? I think I just found the problem to my audio. If the audio flickered just a few minutes ago, I might have a broken wire in this mic. I hope this audio comes out all right. We will see. I'm holding it in my hand now, and I'll try to hold it perfectly still so it doesn't flash. I don't know if I had an audio glitch or not, but if I did, hopefully it'll stay now. Okay, that line, that snaky white looking line, it's actually a ridge in detail along a ridge. No specific name that I can find on this particular chart that I'm using. If we scroll on up higher, there's some nice detail in here. Now, we are on, notice, I've got to get into a little bit of this later, but we are actually on the terminator. Now, the terminator is an astronomical term for the sunrise and sunset line on the moon. Now, I've heard people call it the shadow line. I've heard it called the dark line. I mean, none of those are correct astronomical terms. The correct term is the terminator on the moon. And let's see, and with this camera, it's nice. By the way, I'm using a Logitech C910 camera. And let's see, I can play a little bit with some of the settings here that might, let me see if we can boost the brightness just a hair. Let's see what happens here. Oh, I got it on auto, that's why. Okay, let's try it here manually. There we go. Now we got a little better control. Okay, I just boosted the brightness a little bit. Now, one thing if you notice, and it's actually very mild tonight, which is surprising, this detail along the terminator, it shows a tremendous amount of detail. The reason for that is it's because it's a sunrise, and in this case going towards full moon, this is the sunrise area of the moon. The shadows are extremely long. Just think of your own home where you live, and think of sunrise in the morning, and go out and look at the shadow of your house or apartment complex, wherever you live. You'll notice those shadows are really, really long because it's early morning. Of course, by noontime, the sun is high up overhead and the shadows disappear. This is exactly what's going on right here. This is the sunrise area of the moon. As the sun gets higher, and we can show you that, this is what happens. You get over here and you get to areas like this and see how washed out white they look. Let's turn this exposure down a bit. There. And you can see they're just washed out areas. I've seen some pretty strange explanations of calling them lights and everything. They are not. They are just, actually the whitish areas, a lot of them, look at that real bright one up near the top, they are impacts. And what they are, when an impact or a meteor or a small, very small asteroid in this case, would hit the moon, it digs up a lot of fresh material, and they show up very, very white. And those clouds you see going by are clouds I've got in the sky right here. And the thing I wanted to talk about also is, if you look carefully at the video, you may see a little bit of wavering in it, almost like it's a water. Now, that is nothing more than our Earth's atmosphere. There is no atmosphere on the moon. You can prove that quite easily by doing photoelectric studies of stars that are occultated by the moon. And it'll block out the moon. I'm just looking it down. I just think that just my light just on my mic flashed again. I sure hope this is working right. I'm going to have to check into this before I do another video. And anyway, with a photoelectric photometer or a CCD camera with a photometric package, you can record the brightness of a star to extreme accuracy, to 1/100th of a magnitude. And if there was any atmosphere in the moon, as the moon approached the star and covered it up during its orbit around the Earth, as the star got closer and closer to the edge of the moon, it would start to dim because of an atmosphere on the moon. And when it got really close, it would drop the magnitude by quite a bit because a lot of the star's light would be filtered out. We don't get that because there is no atmosphere on the moon. And that wavering we see is nothing more than the Earth's atmosphere. That is... let's kind of go up a little farther here as we're talking. That is nothing more than seeing in our atmosphere. When you observe, now this big, broad plane here, that's Mare Crisium. It's like viewing or trying to observe the sky from the bottom of a fishbowl. In other words, you're looking through a lot of atmosphere here in the ground. That's why professional huge observatories are all built on high mountains. They try to get above that layer of atmosphere. And seeing is what we call astronomical seeing. As you can see now, it's starting to waver a little bit. That's some atmospheric seeing that we're having a problem with right now. And a bird just went by. Nice. Let's see, I kind of lost my train of thought here. Yeah, so you're looking through a lot of atmosphere and it kind of bubbles, and and there's certain ways amateur astronomers like us who don't have observatories and high mountaintops, and we have to observe from where we can. A couple things to stay away from. If you out there when you have a new telescope and you're just getting into the hobby, stay away from concrete structures, huge concrete structures, and especially blacktop parking lots. And the reason for this is, just think about, like, say, a blacktop parking lot. All day long it gathers sun heat, and it just builds up and it gets really hot, as you know, pavement and the sun will. Well, when sunset comes and gets dark, the pavement starts to release that heat into the atmosphere at night, and that just calls for terrible, terrible astronomical scene. So try to stay away from huge structures that are made of stone, because they release a lot of heat slowly at night. And also try not to observe over top of house rooftops, because the heat loss from the house, especially in wintertime, will cause this effect also. So that's just a point I wanted to make. Let's go over here to the edge of the moon. Now look at that brilliance. See how bright that area is? That's because it's approaching a very high sun angle there. And we actually need to do something like this. We can turn the brightness down, and look at that nice view we get now. You can see the craters that have come out of sunlight, and you know, or they were near the terminator a night or two ago and were extremely easy to see. And now we have to do something like we just did in order to get a good view of them. I want to just check something. That one crater, yeah. Just give me a second. I'm checking something here. Rima Tarantus. That is, that's interesting. Let me center this crater up a little better. This crater, it's right near 6 o'clock at the bottom of the field right now, and I need to, whoops, going the wrong way. Let's bring it up. Okay, see, it's right on the shores of Mare Crisium. I want to verify that when I can get back to the map here. Okay, come on, settle down, image. Okay, there it is. I just want to check this. I believe, yeah, it's Rima. Yeah, Tarantus. That crater is, according to this map, you know what? It just jumped around. It picked up the little crater that was inside of it. Okay, that's a little better. It's 20 miles wide. So it's that crater right there that's in the center of the field. It's got that little crater in it also. So when you get out to the edge like this, you've got to start playing with the contrast and such, because of that situation with high and lower sun angles. Let me, I'm going to try to change that contrast a little bit. Oh, way too much down. Okay. And way too high. Let's bring it back in the control here. And boy, it's really touchy right here. Woo, man. Very touchy. Let me try. Oh, you know, let me see. Let's drag it by hand. There we go. That's a little better. Okay, let's go zooming around elsewhere. Okay, we're getting to, that's the South Pole region, and I need to get some more exposure in that. Let's pull it back down. There we go. Okay, let's get a little more exposure on that. See, with different areas of the moon, see, when I just touch it, it goes crazy. It really has a large effect on the image, only because of the brightness change because of the sun angle. Now, these two craters right here. Let's see. Let me get these back and get a better bearing of where I am. Yeah, okay. Let's bring it back up. And let's see. These craters should show up fairly easy on my map right here. Let me get back to my map screen. And they are this is interesting. Okay. The smaller the one up near 12 o'clock is, let's see, I got to get my cursor on that and get the name where I can read it. It's awful small. What did I do here? Okay, that's Buckhart. 20 miles wide. And the bigger crater right now near the center is, and let me go back to that screen again, is, I lost it. Come on. Okay, there it is. And that one is Geminis. And Geminis is, that's a fairly, let's see, according to this, it's 52 miles wide. Have I got the right crater here? Boy, that doesn't seem right. Hang on one second. I want to make sure I'm looking at the same crater you are right now with the map. Okay, it's that one down there, which is the second one down. And yeah. Okay, no, I know why. I was looking at the wrong crater and the wrong description. It is, that crater is Buckhart. Yeah, Buckhart. That's the name of that crater. Anyway, how much time have I been on here already? I'm up to 16 minutes already. I haven't done this in so long, I've kind of lost my touch here. I'm kind of wallowing around. As you can see with this camera, we have zoom capability. I can zoom in, and then we have to kind of move it. Now when you start zooming in, notice the image starts to muddy up, and that's because you're starting to use too much zoom on it. Now I want to say something about zoom, because I've heard some pretty wild things from some other sites. Once you get an image of the moon like we have on the screen now, okay, and we started out with something like this, okay, we have all the detail in there that you're going to get. I've seen some pretty wild claims that you can take an image and then zoom in and you can get incredibly close and see detail on the surface like structures and buildings and all such things. I'm here to tell you, from my 62 years in astronomy, that is not true. This image that we have right here now, you can zoom in, but when all you're doing is the detail that is visible, you will make it bigger, but you're not going to get any larger. And I'm talking about not just with the software that I'm using now, where I'm imaging, but if I were to take a still, and I'm going to zoom in as far as this will go, and now you can really see that wavering from the atmospherics of our own Earth. Yeah, it's gotten really bad now. It's all we've done is enlarge the detail that's visible. Now, I'm sure there's some people out there who are going to disagree with me, and that's fine. You can. I'm here to tell you that from 62 years work in the field of astronomy, over 50 of it doing photographic work initially when the old film was around, and had my own darkroom and processed my own film, to the modern day CCD cameras and electronic devices like we're using now. You just can't get any more detail out of an image once you have it. You can enhance it, you can make it sharper, you can play around with contrast and color a little bit, but you can't get any closer. But anyway, it's just, as I said, all my time in astronomy, I want to just spend 1 minute or two, well, I'll be a little bit, oh, there's a, before I do that, here we go. This is the upper Mar. See that bluish tinge with the line across near the center of the screen? That is Mare Tranquillitatis, the Sea of Tranquility. And the other Mar below, see the difference in color? They're completely different colored. And if you go to the map, I'm going to see if it shows up in the map, the color difference. Let me see. We've got to get to the right area. No, that's not where I want to be. Pardon me for 1 second here. You know what? That's because there we go. Yeah, okay. Now it shows up on the map a little bit, but not as good. But anyway, the upper one is Mare Tranquility, and the bottom is Mare Serenitatis. Look at that beautiful line. And this is where, with this camera, we can enhance color a little bit. And what happens when I play with color? Let's see, intensity. Now, see, I can blow it right out of the water, but that's really overdoing it. But look at the nice blue and then that kind of yellowish brown at the bottom. That's putting too much. I've maxed the color out at about 80-90%. That's way too much. That's just for showing color intensity difference. That's not how blue it really is. Under natural conditions, it would be more something like this. More gray than anything with a hint of blue. There is color on the moon, but it's very, very subtle. This camera's good at being able to enhance that color and really bring it out. But anyway, as I said, I've been in the field of astronomy for a long time, and lately I've been following a couple of sites that really make some fantastic claims, and it bothers me because I know the claims that are made. I'm hoping, I really hope that these wild claims of life and structures and all this stuff on the moon and going in and pulling up all kinds of this detail, I really hope the people that are presenting this, and I'm not going to call them out by name, I will not do that, I hope they really believe that's what they're doing, and I hope that they're presenting information to you. It's wrong, but I would feel better if they honestly felt that than to find out that they were intentionally trying to deceive people that they were putting their videos up for. Don't know if that's the case for sure, but a lot of things that they claim, especially the ones that claim to be planets, and they're definitely just out of focus stars, or possibly the planet themselves thrown hugely out of focus and claiming that surface detail. That's just impossible. It's not possible with amateur type telescopes. But like I say, I hope these people are not experienced enough to understand and they really think they've discovered something new when in fact they have not. Well, a lot of bird activity tonight. Wow, that's really something. All right, guys, I'm 21 minutes in. I don't want to make this too long because I'm a little worried about the audio in it. I definitely have to check this audio problem out. I think I'm dealing with a broken wire in this mic, and if that's the case, then I may have cut out a few times. But we will find out soon enough, guys. Thanks for joining me for this quick tour tonight. I got a little long-winded on some things. A little out of practice. It's been a while, like I said. I kind of got away from it. A lot of my old videos, if you click on videos, it'll bring up all my old videos that are kind of behind the page and it'll open up and show all my old videos from way back. You can check out some of the other ones. I want to come back at some point. I want to talk about the structure of craters. I want to talk about central peaks. They're natural. It's just a function of impact. Some craters get them, some don't. They're completely natural. There's nothing artificial about them. I want to talk about how the craters are formed themselves. And then I like talking too about a little history about the old mappers of the moon and the things they used to come up with. So anyway, guys, I'm going to check a few things out. Hopefully this is a clean video with no breaks or maybe just a glitch or two, hopefully, in the audio. And then at some point in the near future, hopefully I will be back with you. So guys, take care. Thanks for joining me tonight, and see you soon. Take care, guys.